From South Carolina Public Radio, this is Who, What, When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray, and this week's episode is Fit for a King. Our quizzes today are all about royalty.
That's right, Brandon. Coming up later in the hour, can you match the royal with the actor who portrayed them on screen? We'll also see how well you know regents with the names Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, and Henry. And we'll hear 3 stories from history about the royal origins of famous sayings.
Would you like to join us to play these games? All you got to do is call or text us 803-470-6347. That's 803-470-6347. Or if you'd rather, you can send us an email, whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org. You're going to get a shot at the title of Who What When Shaman of the Week. And most importantly, you might take home your very own special trophy, the Who What When Fanny Pack.
That's right, Brandon. I don't think I'm overstepping here to say that the fanny pack is basically like our version of the crown jewels.
Oh my, yeah. Listen, you're going to feel like royalty when you're wearing that sucker around. It's phenomenal.
It's unbelievable. And we do have kind of a broad category today, Brandon.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
We'll say that this edition is specifically about Western European royalty. Get out your maps. Past and present. That's what we're going with today.
Okay,
Brandon.
I like that.
Yeah, and before we get to our games, I'd like to take a little time to talk about one of the best-known monarchs of the last 100 years. That's right, Queen Elizabeth II of the United Kingdom.
I've heard of her, which means she must be a major figure. I would say probably the most identifiable royal in recent history.
Definitely, Brand. I would agree with that. She passed away in 2022. Elizabeth
Rest in peace,
II
obviously.
had been in power for almost 71 years at the time. That's not only the longest reign of any queen in history, but also the second longest of any monarch in history, just behind King Louis XIV of France by a couple of years.
That's incredible. How old was she when she became queen?
Great question, Brand. She
Thank
was
you.
25 years old when her father, King George VI, passed away in 1952. She was then officially coronated the following year, a very young age to become head of the entire British Commonwealth.
Can you imagine for 1 second, Dan, having your face slapped on all of your country's money before you're even 30?
Hard to recover there.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of responsibility. So, Dan, what were some notable moments from her 70-plus years on the throne?
I'm glad you asked, Brandon. It's a tough one because there's so much that happens while Elizabeth was queen, many major events, just like hitting the highlights.
Sure.
The United Kingdom allying with the U.S. against the Soviet Union in the Cold War, the decolonization of many African countries that were once under British rule, the historic election of Margaret Thatcher as the first female prime minister of Britain, the UK joining the European Union, Brexit, and the UK leaving the European Union. She also met 5 popes and 14 U.S. presidents.
I can't help but notice, though, Dan, that you forgot to mention that she met Daniel Craig's James Bond for the 2012 Summer Olympics in London.
What a Skyfall by me. I don't know, that doesn't work.
That was good.
Oh, yeah. I think she got to meet Paddington Bear for her Platinum Jubilee.
She met Paddington Bear?
I know. It should have been the lead there, shouldn't it? Of course.
To be so lucky.
Yeah, but being a queen, Brand, also means being in the public eye. And Elizabeth's family was closely watched by the media, particularly the high-profile divorce of her son, now King Charles, and Princess Diana. But despite this and other controversies in her lifetime, she remained a fairly popular monarch up until her death in 2022.
I can't get over the fact that she met Paddington.
Yeah, that's fair. Should we get to some games about the royals, though?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we should. I'm over it. Here we go. I'm ready for it. We got 2 contestants on the line, Dan. They're ready to play with us right now.
Caller number 1, what's your name? Where are you from?
Brandon, Dan, first and foremost, let me express what a pleasure it is to be here. My name is Dustin Keating, and I'm from Toronto, Canada.
Canadians listening.
Wow.
Canadians listening.
Also very respectful, as Canadians are.
We're starting to become big deals around here, Brain.
That's my understanding.
That's right.
Dustin, tell us about your relationship with royal fandom.
Unlike yourselves, clearly members of the gentry, I don't extend much further than the Lord Song Royals, which I'd like to point out she's New Zealand, she's Kiwi.
Whatever.
You can have a whole wardrobe change on that one.
All right. This is not helpful, Dustin, but thank you.
I don't know what the over-dramatized fish out of water idiom would be, but I'm that.
Okay.
Great. Sounds awesome. I think you're going to crush it. Let's meet who you're playing against. Caller number 2, what's your name? Where are you from?
Allie, and I'm from French Lick, Indiana.
The town that Larry Bird was from?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's not a big town. This is great.
Do you know Larry?
Well, I think everybody feels like we know him, but I don't really
Yeah.
know him.
That's probably
more than fair. Allie, what's your relationship with royal fandom? Do you feel good about this?
I really like the current, like Meghan and Harry, and I don't know about history very much though, so we'll see.
So you like the ones that are no longer a part of the royal family?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Once a royal, always a royal. Is that what you're saying,
yeah,
Allie?
yeah.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know if the royal family plays by that rules, but
I don't think they do.
Yeah.
Famously don't. Let's get to our first game, which is Who, What, We Were Made to Be Royals.
Well done.
You see that?
Yeah,
You like that?
That's really good.
Who, What, We Were Made to Be Royals. These are all actors that have portrayed famous royalty in movies or on TV.
Okay.
So maybe if you guys don't love the Royals, you might still know actors in TV and movies very
It's
well.
hard to escape. I feel like
That's
at
right.
least every year there's some sort
There's
of
at
royal
least
movie
one.
or TV
Yeah.
show. So.
And I've limited the questions I have here from Netflix's The Crown to, I think, 2, which is kudos to me.
Okay.
All right, Dustin, you ready to play a little Who, What, We Were Made to Be Royals?
I am. I'm ready to lose. Let's go.
All right, your question. Having already played Jane Austen royalty when he starred as Mr. Darcy in the 1995 BBC adaptation of Pride and Prejudice, he went on to win the Best Actor category for portraying King George VI in The King's Speech. A. Patrick Stewart. B. Colin Firth. C. Ian McKellen.
I think this is me peaking right now because I'm pretty confident it is B, Colin Firth.
He's confident, and he's correct.
Can you imagine if you said it? This is me peeking, and then
And
he
it
gets
was Ian
wrong?
McKellen. Yeah, that would have been great. Dustin has called 2 shots there. The one is I'm ready to lose, and the second is this is me peeking on question 1.
He's right on at least one of them. We'll
He
see
is-
about the losing
yes,
part.
we'll see. We'll see. That's right. All right, Allie from French Lick, Indiana. Your first question here on Who, What, We Were Made to Be Royals. Known for recently starring in the Netflix film Thursday Murder Club alongside Pierce Brosnan, this dame shows up in several Fast and Furious movies, the Red films, but probably most notably in The Queen, where she played the lead role of Queen Elizabeth II. A. Emma Thompson. B. Helen Mirren. C. Meryl Streep.
When you said Dame, I thought Judi Dench. I'm gonna say the only one that's closest to Judi Dench would be Helen Mirren. Final answer.
The only dame in that category that was a possible right answer, Helen Mirren. You
you
are
go.
correct, Allie.
Doesn't matter how you got there. You got there.
That's right. Doing Indiana proud. Here we go. Dustin, your next question. We're talking about actors that played royals in TV or movies. Here we go. Sofia Coppola's stylized retelling of the ruling of Marie Antoinette actually starred this American actor in the lead role, which required a lot more French fashion and a lot less upside-down kissing of Spider-Man. Bryce Dallas Howard, Emma Stone, Kirsten Dunst.
I think possibly the Pride of Canada. I'm going with C, Kirsten Dunst.
Shout out Canada, shout out Dustin, shout out correct answer,
Shout out.
Kirsten Dunst.
I mean, it seems like a pretty lucky draw for Dustin so
Yeah.
far. The one that he felt really good about, and then a Canadian actor. This
That's
is working
Yeah.
great.
And I said this American actor, and I'm talking North American. No,
Sure.
Yeah,
Of
I wasn't
course.
talking about U.S.
Not our American.
There's no way I didn't know she was Canadian.
yes. We all know it.
We all know it. We love
love
Canada.
that about. We
the
love
great
that about
white,
her.
The Great White North.
Yes.
We know everyone that's from there and not
Yeah.
here. That's why I said American.
And it was never
inclusive.
We never just assume everyone's American.
That we would never.
We don't do
We
that.
would never. Great job, Dustin.
We love Canada.
Locked in on the fact that I gave you a Canadian there. All right, Allie, you got a chance to tie this back up early in the round. Actors that played royals on TV or in movies. Here's your question. Shakespeare in Love is probably most notorious for taking an Oscar away from Saving Private Ryan for Best Picture. But it also awarded this dame a Best Supporting Actress trophy for her role as Queen Elizabeth I. She went on to play M in numerous Bond films, as well as other films like Spirited, Philomena, and Murder on the Orient Express. Is that Judi Dench, Maggie Smith, Eileen Atkins?
It's like it was meant to be. Dame Judi Dench. Final answer. Yes.
All of these are dames, but you are correct. It is Judi Dench. That is accurate. 2-2. I gave her 2 dame questions.
Damn, that's a good one.
I don't want to sound the perfect game too early. That's like a whale call. call. It's not even a horn. Whatever.
cool.
That's fine. Big in the whale communities.
Yeah, that's
and I
us,
don't
our
want to
show.
talk about them anymore. Dustin, your chance to retake the lead. Here we go. Powerful guest star on FX's show The Bear, this British actor filled the shoes of Queen Anne in The Favourite, winning an Oscar, and turned around the following year and played Queen Elizabeth II in Netflix's The Crown. Is that A, Kate Winslet, B, Olivia Colman, C, Julie Andrews?
Oh boy. I'm going to stall for a second because I got to come clean about something. I just realized that when I said, I'm playing a side game here, and it's who's a real Canadian and who's not. It turns out Kirsten Dunst is not Canadian.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's right. I knew Canada was wrong. I knew it.
I was conflating Alicia Cuthbert in my mind. Okay, back to the task at hand.
It's the Cuthbert Kirsten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, you got it right. But what the heck, brother?
Yeah.
That's the Canadian. We have Kirsten Dunst at home, and
Yeah.
I'm putting respect on both of those names.
Of course you are.
Back to the task at hand. When all else fails, go with B. I'm going option B. Can't even remember who that is.
Olivia Colman, one of the best living actors on the planet, and also the correct answer.
There you go.
The correct
Never
answer.
fails. Plan B.
Yeah, B's get degrees, you know what I mean? Allie, another chance to tie this back up and keep that perfect game rolling. Here we go. The 2021 film Spencer featured yet another American playing one of the most famous British royals of the 20th century, Princess Diana. And while this actress wasn't royal in the role that shot her into superstardom, she did marry a vampire, so I guess that's similar. Is that Kristen Stewart, Anna Kendrick, Emma Watson?
Well, it just so happens that I did read all of the Twilight books and watched all the Twilight movies, and I'm a big Kristen Stewart fan, and I know she played Princess Diana. Kristen Stewart, A.
Kristen Stewart is A. You are correct.
There you go.
We're tied again.
Not a Canadian, but
An American.
But Allie, where does Twilight take place?
Forks, Washington.
Right, and where's Washington close to?
Canada.
There you go.
Dustin, are you writing all this down?
Write all that down, Dustin. That's good stuff for the future.
Pay attention because there will be an exam.
Yes.
All right, it's tied up again. Perfect game continues.
Wow.
Dustin, your chance to retake the lead. Famous as playing the 11th Doctor in BBC's Doctor Who, this British actor, also known for Caught Stealing and House of the Dragon, made a memorable turn in Netflix's The Crown as the young and incredibly problematic Prince Philip. Is that David Tennant, Christopher Eccleston, Matt Smith?
Oh my. Is the 11th Doctor Who the current Doctor Who?
No, but I shouldn't give you a hint. Sorry.
I only know of David Tennant as an Doctor Who. So I got to break my rule. When I don't know, go with B. I'm going with A today, everyone.
The good news is that A and B were both wrong, so you were going to get it wrong either way by not going with B. That's incorrect. Perfect game's over. I hate that for all of us. It's fine. Rest in peace, obviously. Matt Smith is who we're looking for. Matt Smith. All three of those folks were in Doctor Who, obviously. Go
I'm
ahead.
surprised Matt Smith doesn't go by another name. Like, that's just a Matt Smith.
Matt
It's
Smith,
just
pretty basic.
pretty basic.
All right, Allie, you got a chance to take your first lead.
This is big.
We're talking we were made to be royals. These are actors that were royals in TV shows or movies. Here we go. Before this actor was in his Oscar-winning star in every Scorsese movie era, but after he was kicked off the floating door by Kate Winslet, he was King Louis XIV in the American take on the famous French king in The Man in the Iron Mask. Is that Jude Law, Leonardo DiCaprio, Ray Liotta?
I'm going to be honest. You said a lot of words. The only one I heard was being kicked off the door, which is good because now I know the answer is Leonardo DiCaprio.
You got it. And the first lead for Allie is now 4-3. It's now. The first lead
starts
for
right
Allie
now.
is starts right now.
It starts right now.
That's right.
You know what I love about Who What When is that honestly you barely have to pay attention and you can sometimes still get the answer
Stop
correct.
selling the show to all our listeners, Brand. This is a serious quiz show.
It is serious.
That's why they tune in. Not for the bits.
No.
Not for the sound effects.
That's true.
All right, Dustin, chance to get back on the board here. Here's your next question. Before he was Wonka, Dylan, or Atreides, and before he and Ben Stiller became the new faces of the New York Knicks, this star in the making was King Henry V in the film The King. Is that Timothy Olyphant, Timothy Meadows, Timothy Chalamet?
Well, thankfully, his first name is not the memorable one. We're going with Sion Chalamet.
Sion Chalamet said, "Hut." Yes, that is correct. Chalamet is correct.
But I do love Timothy Meadows, as I call him notoriously.
Yeah, Timothy Meadows.
One
That's right.
Timothy Meadows.
Is he Canadian?
Timothy Meadows?
Yeah, Tim Meadows.
I mean, he seems like a nice guy.
Seems like the nicest. Yeah. All right. It's tied up. Allie, the last question of the round goes to you. Here we go. This eccentric British actor, known for her collaborations with Tim Burton, as well as her turn as Bellatrix Lestrange in the Harry Potter films, made a scene-stealing turn in Netflix's The Crown as Queen Margaret. Is that A, Emma Watson, B, Helena Bonham Carter, or C, Tilda Swinton?
Ooh, I have no idea. I can picture the Harry Potter actress, but I don't know her name. I'm going to go with B.
She's going to go with B, Helena Bonham Carter, and she is correct.
There you go. This is Who What When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my co-host Daniel Thompson. Thank you so much for joining us for these games all about royalty.
Our contestants, Allie and Dustin, are definitely royalty in our eyes today. It's a close game after the first round. We'll see who takes the lead in our next game about regents who shared the same name.
That's coming up right after this break here on Who What When.
Welcome back to Who What When, an hour of history, games, and trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy Brandon Gray, and our topic this week is the royalty of Western Europe.
Before we get back to the games, we want to remind you that you can join us on a future episode of Who What When. All you have to do is call or text us, 803-470-6347, or send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org. What are you waiting for?
That's right, Brandon. Today we have Allie from Indiana and Dustin from Toronto, Canada, playing with us. Whoever wins this second round will be named our Who What When Champion of the Week, and we'll move on to our final game for a chance at our weekly prize, that sweet, sweet Who What When fanny pack.
And Dan, I don't want to make too big of a deal about this, but I just got word that whoever wins this week is also going to get the title of Royal of the Week.
What? Royal of the Week? You add that to Who What When Champion of the Week, and then you throw in a fanny pack? This is crazy. This is unheard of.
It's nuts, Dano. We should say, though, that Royal of the Week does not come with any rights or privileges. We're technically not allowed to do that.
It's a great title. You don't get anything else. It's like an honorary doctorate.
Correct. And also very specifically only for 1 week.
Temporary, honorary, royal, no
Yes.
privileges. Got it. And to get to that title, Dustin and Allie will have to come out on top in our next game. It's one we're calling What Kingham Palace?
I like that. Here's how the game's going to work. The answer for each of these questions about royalty will either be Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry. Guess the right name and you will get a point. If you can tell us which number king or queen is with that name that we're talking about, you're also going to get a bonus point.
That's right, Brand. A lot of points to be handed out.
That's what I think.
Dustin, the first question here on What Kingham Palace goes to you. This monarch was known as the Sun King, which meant that the sun set when he went to bed and rose when he woke up, which was a symbol of what he believed to be his divine right and also of the absolutism of the era. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
I think it's a guy. So that narrows it down.
It does take one out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unless they were way ahead of their time in the Elizabethan nomenclature of things. I love the name Louis. King Louis is a brand of expensive champagne. Let's go with Louis. Let's go with C.
It's expensive, and Louis was also expensive. Louis is correct.
There you go.
So you got one, Dustin. Do you want to guess at what number Louis this was?
First of all, do I have to tell you what the Roman numeral is, or can I just
You can say the number. No, that would be hysterical. No, just the number.
How many Louis could there be? 12?
I can't tell you that, Dustin.
Sorry, forgive me. That's my guess. 12.
12? 12 is incorrect. We were looking for Louis XIV.
Oh, pretty close, honestly.
You're right. All right, Allie, you got a chance to take the lead, even add 2 points to your total. Here's your question. This monarch was known for their decisive leadership, defeating the Spanish Armada, establishing a moderate Protestant Church of England, and never marrying. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
I'm going to be honest. I thought there was no way I would get any of these right, but you changed the pronouns. And so now I know it is Elizabeth.
Elizabeth is correct. You want to take a stab at that number?
Ooh, the first.
First is also correct. It's a 2-point question. Dustin, the pressure's on. Pressure's on. You ready?
I'm ready, but I am looking up from a deep hole right now. Who's guessing Elizabeth the First? Congratulations, Allie.
Here we go. This monarch established the Church of England, a huge part of the English Reformation, pretty much so he wouldn't be damned to hell for annulling his first marriage, a theme which wouldn't stop afterward, as he had 5 more marriages, 2 of which ended with his wives' beheadings. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
I don't think it's Charles because Charles is the current king. And I don't know. That's all I got to go on. And I already guessed Louis, so let's give Henry a whirl.
I think he knows these and is acting like he doesn't.
I
it feels like.
Thank you, though.
Henry is correct. This is a very famous monarch. Henry's correct. Do we know the number?
I don't know why 5 feels right, but it does.
It's 8, but not a bad guess. And I got to be honest, these questions get harder. These are softball.
I know that this is brave of me to say this and put this on the record. I don't stand by the beheadings. I think that's pretty messed up, and I'm willing to put
What if
my
they
name
weren't his
on
wives?
that. Well, that's different. I'm kidding. Of course I'm against that, Dan.
Good for you, dude. Way to
That's
take a stand.
crazy.
Way to take a stand.
I know.
Allie, you got a 1-point lead, and you got a chance to get 2 more here. You ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go. This beheaded monarch is famous for instigating the English Civil War by clashing with Parliament over the idea of divine right monarchs, which eventually led him to tax without consent and dismiss Parliament's session in 1629. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
Oh, I'm going to have to take a guess here.
Okay.
I don't think it's Henry, just because Dustin just guessed Henry, although there's lots of Henrys. Oh, man. King Louis? We're just guessing.
Louis is incorrect.
Oh, my.
We were looking for Charles, and it was Charles I. Looking for Charles I. All right, Dustin.
The door's suddenly creaking open.
The door's suddenly creaking open. No WD-40 in the budget.
No. Spin it all on fur.
Here we go, Dustin. Your next question on Buckingham Palace. This British monarch ruled all the way back in the 12th century, but his establishment of common law through such radical, for the time, things like jury trials and decisions based on precedent instead of class, paved the way for a less monarchical England. These positives were only overshadowed by his clash with the church and Archbishop of Canterbury, Sir Thomas Becket. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
Oh my gosh. Sometimes you know some of the words and sometimes you don't. And in this case, once again, I know none of the
Yeah,
words.
dude. Sometimes a monarchical just comes and slaps you right in the face.
No, monarchical.
That's the Buckingham factor for you right there. I'm feeling the warp speed right now. Let's go for Henry. Henry Hoover.
Henry
Hoover.
is correct again.
Oh.
What?
What is happening?
A stopped clock is right twice a day, gentlemen.
That's right. We've had 7 days here. So here's the thing. We've actually had 14
Does he want to
days, so
guess?
twice a day. He does. He wants to guess the number. Go ahead.
Confirming once again, there's no penalty for an incorrect
Correct.
guess.
Confirm.
Not yet. We'll see.
I don't know. We've had a lot of ones. Where's the 2? Give me a 2. Is it Henry the 2?
This is insane.
No. Am I right?
Henry II, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, Henry the Deuce.
Get
What
outta
a
here.
wild turn of events. I still think he's doing the Canadian nice right now.
He won.
He knows all
guy,
of
he
these, and
knows
he's
it
like,
all.
I fell into this. I'm really sorry. I'm sorry for being right.
Sometimes you stumble into
Yeah.
a number 2. You know what
That's
I mean?
right. Damn, that was funny. All right, Dustin, you're all of a sudden in the lead. You're up 1. There's plenty of time here.
Wild.
Plenty of games to be played, plenty of points to be won.
Yes.
Allie, your next question here on Buckingham Palace. This monarch was a patron of the Enlightenment, putting money behind science and engineering, all while modernizing their country's army and navy. On the flip side, the end of the 7 Years' War saw a loss of territory under their rule, and many taxes they put in place are blamed for the future French Revolution. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, Henry?
I think, first of all, that Dustin has a secret history degree that he is not disclosing.
Or maybe he
and I
lived
would
in
like
Europe.
to have that investigated.
He lived in Europe and gave tours of famous places in Europe. Maybe
that could be it.
That could be it.
That could be it. I haven't chosen my girl Elizabeth in a while, but I'm completely guessing here, but I'm going to go with Elizabeth.
So, Allie, I don't want to pile on here. The clue said French several times. So that was our hint that it was the Queen of England. And I get how you get there, because if we don't know royals, which none of us do, let's be honest.
What?
It just is all one big bag of monarchs.
Yeah.
And I get that. But we were looking for the French king, which is Louis XV is what we were looking for.
Second guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that came across.
It did. I heard
Clear
it
as crystal.
You were kind of arguing in your head. I get it. Totally. All right, Dustin, a chance to take an even bigger lead than you already have. Here we go. The longest reigning monarch in British history, this stalwart of the crown backed modern laws like the Succession to the Crown Act, as well as being a patron to more than 600 charitable organizations. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, Henry?
Oh boy, I'd like to take this opportunity to reach across the aisle and say to Allie that I also thought the answer to the last question was Elizabeth.
Fair.
So I don't feel bad about that,
Fair.
even though the French clue.
Oh, thanks, Dustin.
I also think the answer to this question is Elizabeth because it's very modern.
It's very modern and it is very Elizabeth. Yes, that is correct.
Wow.
Do you want to take a stab at what number?
Oh my gosh, do I have, I'm sure you guys are aware, but Canadian currency did feature the Queen once upon a time. I don't know if we've gotten our new King coins yet. 21st.
Elizabeth the 21st
Right, 21st century Elizabeth.
is right if you take away the 1.
Oh, it's not the century? 21st century Elizabeth.
Well, mostly 20th, but she was Elizabeth II. Elizabeth II. Missed it by 19.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. Allie, that leaves the door wide open. If you get a 2 for here, you're right back in it. Here we go. This monarch was beheaded during a time of revolution. But before this, they were known for indecisive leadership, a fireworks disaster on their wedding day, which resulted in a deadly stampede and an uncontrolled fire. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, Henry?
Oh, wow. This is not making me feel very smart. I think that I should get a free fanny pack just for the sheer way that you're destroying my self-esteem here.
I would say let's not get crazy.
All right. I have to guess on this one. I don't think I've picked Henry in a while, so I'm going to go with Henry.
It was not Henry. Not Henry. We were looking for Louis, actually. Tough break, but Dustin's due to miss one here, so let's see what happens. Most of this monarch's resume that sticks out happens before they were actually crowned, as they held a Welsh title for more than 60 years, during which time they served in the armed forces, had a personal battle with cancer, as well as becoming an accomplished watercolor artist.
Wow.
Is it Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
Now feels like a good time to declare I do have a British passport by way of my mother being born in Wales.
Okay, this is messed up.
This is true. I'll send you a photo. I always also knew that I would eventually be knighted. I just didn't think it would come via this illustrious game show.
Sure.
This might lose me that opportunity, however. So I want you to know the way I'm making this decision is by picking the most Welsh name, which presumably is not Elizabeth or Louis. Chuck. Chuck feels more Welsh to me. Let's go with Charlie.
He's correct again.
Yeah. Wow.
He's correct again. What a play. Do you want to guess the number?
Oh, I suppose now that I know it's not centuries, let's go with Chucky the Deuce.
Chucky the Deuce. This is actually the king that was just crowned recently.
Oh, that's Chucky 2?
That's Chucky 3.
Chucky 3.
Chucky
my
the
favorite horror
3.
movie.
That's right. The tray, as they call
Chucky
them.
3 coming out,
right.
I believe, this October.
That's right.
It's going to be incredible.
Yeah. All right, Allie, last question. Buckingham Palace, here we go. Their murder was ultimately brought on by the War of the Roses, before which they helped found some of the most famous educational institutions in Western Europe, including Oxford and Cambridge, among others. Is that Elizabeth, Charles, Louis, or Henry?
Okay, we're back to England. I'm trying to remember the past ones, so it's not Louis, because you said he was French. I do not know history, y'all. I'm going to say Charles, but not the current Charles.
We did not go back to back on Charles here. We're looking for Henry.
Oh,
Henry VI.
dude was murdered?
He was murdered.
Man.
Yeah, a lot of murders. All right.
I've already made my stance on beheadings well known.
What a game. What an air quotes lucky contestant we have in Dustin. Dustin is our champion of the week, our royal of the week, and has an opportunity to win a Who What Win fanny
Big.
pack. What a player, what a game. Allie, thanks for playing. Did a great job.
Great job. You made French Lick, Indiana proud.
Yeah, you certainly did. We really appreciate you having on the show.
Thanks, guys. Congratulations, Dustin.
This is Who What When. I'm Brandon Gray here with my friend and co-host Daniel Thompson. This week we're putting our crown jewels on for this episode all about royalty.
Our contestant Dustin from Toronto, Canada, has just secured the title of Who What Win Champion of the Week.
And Royal of the Week.
And Royal of the Week. No privileges attached. He's now just one game away from taking home our weekly prize as well. That sweet Who What Win fanny pack.
That and more is coming up after this break here on Who What When.
Welcome back to Who What When, South Carolina Public Radio's Hour of History, Games, and Trivia. I'm Daniel Thompson, here with my co-host and friend, I guess, Brandon Gray. All of our games this week are about royalty.
What the heck, man? Our contestant Dustin from Toronto, Canada, is about to get a shot at our wonderful weekly trophy, the Who What Win fanny pack. But first, we wanted to welcome our producer, A.T. Shire, to the program. Hey, AT.
Guys, hello. Thank you for having me.
Yes.
AT, it's always good to see you. The thing I know about you is you're a great producer, but also when you get really excited about a topic, you love to quiz.
Dude, I live to quiz. You know me. I also live for the Royals. That's why I wanted to take just a few minutes to play a little quiz of my own.
Yeah, we knew it. You love it.
And this week I'm calling it, this is not your grandma's Royal Rumble, okay? We're doing Royal Jumble.
All right. Royal Jumble.
In this game, I've taken titles from popular movies and TV shows and swapped one of the words for a term related to royalty.
Oh my gosh.
We
usually do pretty well here.
Yeah.
We got to play together. This sounds like it's going to be hard, right,
can't
Brandon?
wait
Yeah.
to get none of these correct.
Here we go.
Okay, here is the first example, and we're going to start simple, okay?
Okay.
Take this 2004 movie turned TV show about Texas's obsession with high school football.
Yeah,
Got it.
easy.
And add this term for a man who served his sovereign or lord as a mounted soldier in armor.
Friday Night Lights.
That is correct.
Yes.
Friday Night Lights.
Yes.
And so we started easy. It sounds the same. This
That's
is a
easy?
homonym. Yes.
That's a homonym.
Yeah, it is a homonym.
It gets worse.
Uh-oh.
If you need help, I can give you the word that it's replacing.
Are they all homonistic?
Absolutely not.
Dude, great.
All right, first up, the first question here. Follow me on this one. Maybe we thought a little too hard about this, but take this comedy series starring Kevin James and Leah Remini, living in a specific borough of New York City.
Great.
That ran for 207 episodes from 1998 to 2007.
Not enough.
And add this term for a country, state, or territory ruled by royalty.
Okay, as well as King of Queens.
That's
we know
correct,
that.
yeah.
King
Yes.
of Queens.
King of Queens.
Area. This is from in medieval time. It would be like a fief of some sort.
I think you're thinking too hard here.
It's currently a territory ruled by a king. Kingdom. Kingdom of Queens.
That is correct.
yes.
The Kingdom of Queens. We had two royal words in that already, and we still made it weird.
Kingdom of Queens.
Great. Love
Man,
it.
I love this
All
quiz.
right, here we go.
It's
Now
a
we're-
royal jumble.
We're
It's a
getting
royal jumble.
It's the royal
That's
jumble.
what you
It's a
need to
royal
know.
jumble.
Okay, we're getting real here, folks. There's no crying in Who, What, When.
Yeah.
Wipe those tears away and take this 1992 movie about World War II all-female baseball association, starring Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, T. Hanks, thanks, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell, among others, and add this term for a feudal superior or sovereign royalty.
Okay, well, it's a league of their own.
A league of their own is right. Yes.
We're testing our medieval
I think
skills
that is
here.
about the best that I can
League
do
of
with
a league of their own.
of
I think it's going to be league is the word we're going to change.
That is correct.
Is it a thief of their own?
No, no.
Is it a? I keep trying
It
to throw
starts
thief in
with
there.
the same letter.
as league.
League. It starts the same letter as league.
legion.
A legion. No.
I'm gonna.
A liege. A liege of their own.
A liege of their own
My
is
liege.
correct.
We're gonna talk it out
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
We
Good
got
job,
it.
guys. That was tough.
A liege of their
Okay,
own.
I think
love
you're going to
that.
get this one. I think you guys are going to get this
Okay.
one. Next up, take this stalwart of daytime television game show that premiered in 1972, most famously hosted by Bob Barker and currently led by Drew Carey.
Yes.
And add this term for a monarch's son.
The Prince is right.
Oh,
the Prince is right.
The Prince is right is correct.
There we go.
Good job.
There we go.
It's a royal jumble. It's
a royal jumble. Royal jumble.
I think we're starting to pick it up.
I think you're starting to get it is right.
Yeah.
Okay, next up. Now we're really getting into the fun ones here.
Oh,
Okay.
Tom Hanks' second appearance, also for the record.
T. Hanks.
Take this 1999 movie based on a Stephen King story that takes place in 1935 in a prison, starring Tom Hanks, Michael Clark Duncan, Sam Rockwell, among others. And add this term for a female ruler of an independent state, especially one who inherits the position by right of birth.
You know what?
Well, the last part is Queen.
And the first part,
The Queen Mile.
The Queen
Yeah,
Mile.
the Queen Mile.
the
All
Queen
right.
Mile
All
is correct.
Green Mile, a banger of a movie.
All right.
Woo!
So good. When he
T.
barks
Hanks.
the bugs?
I mean, come on.
Come
he barks
on.
the bugs.
Yeah. Okay, next up, we're officially in the weeds. This is going to get worse before it gets better, guys, okay?
Okay.
Take this quintessential holiday movie about Kevin McAllister being forgotten by his family
Alone.
who are going on a trip to Paris, which leads to Kevin defending his house from / torturing burglars.
That's right.
Love
And
it.
add this term for a ceremonial chair for a sovereign bishop or similar figure.
Ceremonial chair. Home of Throne.
Throne alone. Throne
Throne
alone.
alone?
Throne
I will
alone.
accept both, okay?
Home of Throne is
Home of Throne.
is what I went with.
Okay. My only problem with that is a throne is not a word, but throne alone.
Throne alone.
is
I love
correct.
it. Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. We're crushing this.
Next up, what is getting into Harvard law like hard?
Yeah,
Take
here
this
we go.
2001 movie about Elle Woods, played by Reese Witherspoon, going from sorority president to successful lawyer, and add this adjective, meaning of, resembling, or fit for a monarch.
Oh, I got it. It's regally blonde.
Legally blonde
Yeah.
is correct.
Legally blonde.
That is good.
Yeah.
Right? And just for the record, I want to point out I had total regal and I didn't use it. Okay.
Okay.
And that's
AT
restraint.
showing restraint on
Proud
a
of
Total
you.
Recall reference.
Thank you.
You don't
Yes.
see it often around
Thank
here.
you to the pod listeners. Yeah.
Season 2 is a whole new AT.
It's wild.
Okay, next up. Take this Emmy nomination machine of a show about the male-dominated world of 1960s advertising industry that made John Hamm, a.k.a. Juan Hamon, a household name, and add this term meaning impressive stateliness, dignity, and beauty or royal power. This one is a little tough.
Okay. So it's Mad Men.
It is Mad Men.
Madman, yeah.
That's right.
Beauty or power?
Madgemen?
Close.
Okay.
Madgeman.
That's close on it.
Majesty Men?
Majesty Men is correct.
Yes, yes.
All right. Really
Majesty
good
Men.
job. You guys are getting
Good
it.
job. It's good
You
job.
guys
We're
are getting it.
We're working. We're working.
We just shook hands for those at home.
Yeah.
Because we're proud of ourselves.
audio.
Next up. Okay, fellas, call it. Take this 2007 Western crime thriller based on a Cormac McCarthy book that stars Josh Brolin and Javier Bardem that many say is the truest depiction of psychopathy on film. And add the term for belonging to a hereditary class with high social or political status, aristocratic, or a person of high rank or birth.
I think you might be
No
on your
Country
own
for Old Men.
No Country for Old
Okay.
Men is the movie.
No Country for Old Men. I'm trying to think of what.
Give
word
me that second part
Sure.
really quick.
A term for belonging to a hereditary class with high social or political status.
elite bourgeoisie.
Think about the name. No Country for Old Men.
No.
Noble Country for Old Men.
Noble Country for Old Men is
Noble
right.
Country
I
for
would
Old
not
Men.
have gotten
Yeah.
that
Really
one.
good
That's a
job,
tough one.
Dan.
Well, thanks, man.
Okay,
Appreciate
next
that.
up, probably the hardest one here, and I
Okay.
do not
All right.
apologize.
All right, let's go.
Take this 1991 movie that is a loose adaptation of the immortal bard Shakespeare's Henry IV, starring River Phoenix and Keanu Reeves, traveling to Italy to find River Phoenix's estranged mother, and add the term for a circular ornamental headdress worn by a monarch as a symbol of authority.
Okay, well, the second part is the crown.
Crown is correct.
What do you know? What's the movie?
My Crown Private Idaho.
That is right. That is correct. Yes.
My Own Private Idaho.
Oh, okay.
Have you seen that movie?
I have not.
No
but-
one has.
No, but River Phoenix was in Last Crusade, and then he died.
Yes.
And I remember knowing kind of his catalog because I was supposed to as a fan of movies at a young age.
Everyone our age knows that title and has never seen that movie.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've
Really
never
great
seen
job.
It. I've never
Look at
seen
us.
It. Yeah, we're crushing it.
You guys are
Yeah.
crushing this.
We love to quiz.
Next up, Say Cheese. Take this 2003 Julia Roberts movie about a modern for the time woman taking an art history job at Wesleyan College in the 1950s.
Okay.
And add the term for a sovereign head of state, especially a king, queen, or emperor.
I think we're looking for Monarch Lisa Smile.
That is
Wow, you're good at this.
you're nailing
I
this.
kind
dude.
of hate how quickly you got that one.
Okay, next up. Wilson!
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the guy over the fence in Home Improvement. I'm, of course, referencing a ball.
Yes.
Take this third mention of Tom Hanks movie about
Hanks.
survival on an island after a plane crash and add the term for a large building, typically of the medieval period, fortified against attack with thick walls, battlements, towers, and in many cases, a moat.
You got this.
Castaway?
Castaway is correct.
Castaway.
Castaway.
I'm going to give it to you. That is
Castaway.
correct.
All right.
I love
Really
it.
good,
Is it
Brad.
T. Thanksgiving already?
Man,
this is.
He's
Celebrating early.
he's always giving.
Thanks
okay?
for the
Yes.
memories, you know what I mean?
He's giving T. Hanks.
Yeah.
All right, next up. There's nothing in the rule book about 2 questions about headgear in one quiz.
Sure.
Take this 1997 movie about a dog playing basketball.
Okay.
And add the term for a jeweled ornamental band worn in the front of a woman's hair.
Okay. That's gosh. Okay, so it's Air Bud.
Yes.
It's not a tiara.
I wish it was.
It is tiara? Tiara Bud?
Tiara Bud.
Tiara
Boy,
Bud.
that is that's what we call a stretch.
Tiara Bud.
Hey, we're at the end of the game here, okay? Okay. I have a fun fact here. The dog who portrayed Buddy in Air Bud's real name, it's Buddy.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he was he guested on Full House for
Yeah,
an episode.
absolutely.
Shout out.
Yeah, there it is. Man.
Next up, all for one and one for all, I always say. I think I came up with that. That's mine. Take this film about the French king's elite bodyguards, famously portrayed in 1993 by
Yeah.
Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah.
Oliver Platt,
What a group.
Charlie Sheen, and Chris Pine.
All in one.
And add this term for an official order issued by legal authority.
This is the Three-Dicked Musketeers.
Wow. You know what? I didn't even think of that. That's pretty good, but that's not what I have.
That's better. Okay, so it is Three Musketeers.
Yes.
It's not Edict?
I have Decree Musketeers.
It could have been an edict, especially in France. It probably was an edict.
Three-Dicked Musketeers is amazing, though. Really good. Dan
good.
is so dialed right now.
Dude, he's
I'm locked in.
in.
I'm locked in right now.
All right, last one. 1-2, Freddy's Coming for You What When would have been a great title for a segment about this 1984 movie about Robert Englund's famous janitor dream demon, and add the term for a kingdom or a primary marine or terrestrial biogeographical division of the Earth's surface.
Do you have any idea?
Why? It's what is it? Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think
Yes.
it's Nightmare on Realm Street.
Realm.
It is
Oh,
Nightmare on Realm
that's
Street is
good.
correct, guys. Really
That's
good job.
good.
Man, that
We
was
did,
fun.
we did better than I thought that
Yeah.
we would.
You did
Mainly
so
Dan,
much
but-
better than I thought
Man,
you were going to do.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Really
should have
well
majored
done,
in
AT.
college.
Thank
Yeah.
you for having me, guys. Let's get to it. Let's see if we can give away one of these fanny packs. We already have a temporary honorary royal.
Yeah, man,
Put a
it's
crown in it.
Big stuff.
You're listening to Who What When. I'm Daniel Thompson here with my good buddy Brandon Gray.
Hello.
And our games this week are all about royalty.
Before we get to the final round, a quick reminder that we would love for you, yeah, we're talking about you, to join us on a future episode of Who What When. All you have to do is call or text us. It's very simple. 803-470-6347, or you can send us an email to whowhatwhen@scpublicradio.org.
This week's contestant, Dustin from Toronto, Canada, has been crowned not only our Who What When Champion of the Week, Brand, but also Who What When Royal of the Week. Big deal.
It is a temporary title. We do legally need to remind you of that, but it sounds awesome.
That's right. And along with those titles, he now is just one game away from winning our weekly trophy, that vaunted Who What When Fanny Pack.
Incredible.
And that game is one we love. It's History or His Story, Royal Phrases.
Dustin, here's how History or His Story works. Former history teacher Dan has 3 stories from history about the royal origins of famous phrases. The first known recorded use of these particular sayings are related in some way to royalty. Now, 2 of those stories, 100% historical fact. The other one, Dan has combined a few facts with details that he completely made up, aka it is his story. And after each story, you're going to have a chance to talk it through with me, someone who is notoriously great at this game, and ask Dan some questions. And after all 3 stories, you're going to have a chance to tell us which one is Dan's lie. And that's History of His Story.
That's right, Brand. Now, Dustin, does that make sense? Do you have any questions or are you ready to go?
I love this. I love my odds. I'd also just like to go on record saying that Julius Caesar was a temporary royal for a little while too, and look how that ended.
Yeah,
Let's go.
didn't go well for him.
But he did get a salad out of the deal,
He
and that's
certainly
pretty
did.
neat.
That's what's important. Yeah. All right. Here are our 3 stories about the royal origins of sayings. Just so you don't think I'm trying any funny business, I do all of these in chronological order, so I'm not trying to place the lie somewhere. No funny business here. We would never. All right. Here we go. Our first one is read the Riot Act. To read someone the Riot Act is to reprimand, censure, or give a stern, sharp warning. The origin of reading the Riot Act comes from 1700s England. England was continuing to expand their empire. In the 1700s, they would hold territories in Europe, Asia, North America, Africa, Latin America, and the Caribbean, among others. Riots were also a common byproduct of the era. The balance of power in England would shift between Parliament and the king on a regular basis. In the English Civil War of the 1600s, the monarch lost control. The Stuart dynasty ended in 1704. In the late 1700s, there was some sort of riot or unrest at virtually every major public function. Then, King George I of Hanover takes over. Parliament passed the Riot Act in 1714, signed it into order in 1715. If any group of 12 or more gathered together and showed signs of unruliness or anger that could lead to a riot, an officer would then be allowed to read them the Riot Act. Encouraged to do so in a booming voice, would say, "Our sovereign lord the king chargeth and commandeth all persons being assembled immediately to disperse themselves, and peaceably to depart to their habitations or to their lawful businesses upon the pains contained in the act made in the first year of King George for preventing tumults and riotous assemblies. God save the king."
Really good.
Thank you. Once the officer had read the Riot Act, all participants had 1 hour to disperse. If any participant continued past the hour, they would be arrested for a felony punishable by death. If the crowd didn't listen, which was often the case, the officer could enlist citizens to help control or quiet down the crowd, although no felony arrest could be made until the hour period was done. Because of almost constant class conflict in England during the time, the Riot Act was used often in the 17 and 1800s before being repealed in the early 1900s. By the late 1700s, the Riot Act was more effective in riling up a crowd than it was at settling them. That's the end of the first story. Brian, what do you think?
Well, it makes that saying less fun to use. This is dark. I buy it, though. Tracks with what I know about royalty. Dustin, what about you? How are you feeling about this one?
There is so much to unpack about the Riot Act. I have read the Riot Act more than once, and nobody has credited the author, which I think is something we should addend.
Has anybody started a clock?
And you have great point. You have an hour? Do you know how much nonsense you can get up to in an hour,
Yeah.
especially when you're eligible to deputize fellow citizens. Yeah. I have been doing the riot act all wrong.
All wrong.
All wrong.
You were meant to kill people. All right, we ready for the next one?
I'm ready.
Here we go. This next one is put a lid on it.
Put a lid on it.
To shut up or stop talking or be asked to firmly. Let me take you back to England, Dustin. 1660 to 1685, the 25-year reign of King Charles II, the Deuce. He was known as the Merry Monarch. His father, Charles I, was beheaded during the British Civil War, which ended in puritanical rule under Oliver Cromwell. He made a deal with Parliament and reestablished the monarchy in England. He's also known for his revelrous and happy demeanor. Possibly had something to do with the demise of his father, but he was basically a 17th century jokester and prankster. That's what he was.
He loves a prank. Sometimes it leads to a beheading.
Sometimes it does. He granted a charter for what is now Charleston, South Carolina.
Shout out.
He had very little use for the nuts and bolts and administrative aspects of being king. He also didn't like it when people droned on during these meetings or these banquets about official royal business. In 1681, the royal banquet, including guests of the crown, including Charles Seymour, Duke of Somerset. Seymour began delivering a speech on the benefits of Charles II's rule within his respective territory. The speech was lengthy, with banquet attendees becoming very weary and tired of him talking. Charles, too, realized what was happening, became weary himself, got the attention of one of his servants, and ordered him to bring forward a large silver platter holding a covered soup tureen, a giant soup bowl. Charles takes the tureen off the tray, stands up in the middle of the Duke's speech, and said something to the effect of, "It's high time we put a lid on it before we spill over into madness." The room of invited guests to the royal banquet exploded into laughter. The phrase became commonplace in England in the 18th century and spread to the U.S., with Charles II believed to be the first to use the phrase and or come up with it. That is the end of story number 2. Brian, what you thinking?
Well, as someone who has been told to put a lid on it many a times in his life, this is one I'm flagging to come back to.
Flagging. It's a preemptive flag.
Because one, like the phrase is kind of fun. You know, it's a fun phrase. Put a lid on it. Kind of seems silly. You have this merry monarch, this prankster. I think that this, you're using a phrase that is kind of funny. You're throwing prankster out there. I think it could be maybe I think you might be trying to pull one over.
You think it's my story?
Possibly.
Possibly.
I'm
it's preemptively flagged. Dustin, what do you think?
Yeah, well, if it's true that great minds think alike, but fools seldom differ, I'm with Bran on this one. You guys will recall I recently invoked the name of Chucky Deuce by pure and sheer luck. And if this doesn't demonstrate that I know absolutely nothing about him, then nothing will. This story, definitely a bit fishy.
All right. We ready for story 3?
We ready.
Turn a blind eye.
Go ahead and turn that blind eye.
It means to pretend not to notice or to notice and act and ignore. That's exactly right. Let's take you all the way to the Battle of Copenhagen in 1801, a battle that you know well.
Love this one.
But for the folks at home, I'm going to just go through it real quick.
Sure.
That's right. This is during the French Revolutionary Wars. The Russian Tsar had created a league of neutrality for free trade with France, including Denmark, Sweden, Prussia, and Russia. Russia had previously been an ally to England, and this angered England greatly as trade, especially through the sea travel, was their strength because of their navy. There's a guy named Horatio Nelson who is Vice Admiral of British Command.
And he was on SNL?
Yeah, Horatio. That's a different Horatio.
Oh.
No, he was on he was on CSI Miami. Horatio Nelson was Vice Admiral of British Command. He didn't believe that Denmark and Sweden meant much, wanted to ignore them and sail to the Baltic and attack the Russians. The attack commenced, and Nelson's ship was one of several in the skirmish. Admiral Parker, in charge of Nelson, couldn't see much of the action because of gun smoke, but saw distress signals from 2 other British ships in the harbor. He gave the order to Nelson for retreat. Upon receiving the order, Nelson told his assistant not to repeat it. The official record by the flag holder states that Nelson redrew his telescope to his eye, this time his blind one, and subsequently claiming he could not see any order from Parker, and the assistant kept that with him without telling anyone. The British went on to heroically win the Battle of Copenhagen, with Nelson calling it the greatest victory he had ever gained. Brand, what do you think?
It's a good story. One-eyed
admiral.
There's a lot going on here.
Yes.
It's giving pirate, which I love. Yeah, my initial thought is I'm buying this one, but I got to give it a little bit more thought. Dustin, where are you at on this?
Yeah, once again, going with Bran on this one. I think it's a good story. And if the 1987 film masterpiece, The Princess Bride, is right, the first rule is never fight a land war in Asia. The second is never turn a blind eye to the Vikings. I think this checks out.
Yeah,
This would be way after the Vikings, but I get it. Let's recap, shall we?
let's do it.
Okay, we have Read the Riot Act,
Yep.
which came from British officers reading a literal riot law to get rowdy crowds to disperse.
Love it.
We have Put a Lid on It, which was first used by King Charles II of England to cut off a dignitary's boring speech during dinner.
More than fair.
And finally, we have Turn a Blind Eye, which came from a Royal Naval Admiral turning his actual blind eye to a superior, pretending not to see the order being sent.
All right.
Bran, what do you think of these?
I'm going back to that flag, baby. I am going to say that your story is the one.
Put a lid on it.
About the funny phrase made up by a funny guy. Put a lid on it. King Chucky the Deuce.
Chucky the Deuce.
I'm going to say that's your story for the reasons that I've already explained.
All right, Dustin, I don't want to put any pressure on you here, but you've been with Bran the whole time, so you have a chance to stick with Bran on this. It's historically bad. This is to get a champion of the week, a row of the week, and a fanny pack. Dustin, which story is my story?
Well, I think if the vote for Bran is a historically bad vote, we're ready to rewrite history, and that's what this show is all about. Right?
That's right. Thank you, brother.
If there was a trophy for a really good made-up story, it would go to B. Put a lid on it. I don't think that checks the smell test.
All right, they both choose Put a Lid on It.
This is big. I got to be honest. Most people don't go with me, so this is a pretty good. It's a pretty good day for me.
This may be the highest stakes we've ever had in Who
It's a pretty good day for me.
Bran for validation, Dustin for Royal of the Week, Fanny Pack, and Champion of the Week. Here we go. Reading the Riot Act, that is a true story. You can still look up the words that I said as the Riot Act. Those are the real words. And then they somehow, in the 1700s, put an hour on the clock somewhere. I don't know how they did that, but they did it. That's why I thought that might trip you up.
Yep.
Put a lid on it. My story.
Oh, we did it, Dustin!
We did it. The times they are a-changing. Put a lid on it. My story, which means Turn a Blind Eye, also a real story.
How about that?
Dustin from Toronto, you are the proud owner of a Who What Win Champion of the Week title, of a temporary Who What Wins Forever, temporary Royal of the Week title,
That's right.
and a Who What Win fanny pack. How does it feel to be the biggest winner of all time on our little game show, Who What Win?
You might call this temporary, but I'm keeping it. I'm not abdicating this power. I never thought I'd achieve such heights, especially in such great company. Thank you so much for bestowing this honor upon me.
I mean, I don't want to rewind the tape to an hour ago where he almost guaranteed
He would
his
lose.
loss.
Yes.
And here he is now winning not just the game, but the fanny pack. A big week for you, Dustin. Congratulations, Lord.
Thank you, and credit to my competitor, Allie.
Fantastic. Dustin, thanks for playing here on Who What Win.
Thanks for having me.
And now we're putting a lid on this episode all about royalty. Thanks again to our callers, Dustin and Allie, for playing with us. Congratulations again to Dustin for being this week's Royal Who What Win champion.
Our producer is A.T. Shire. Our executive producer is Sean Birch, who's the king of our hearts. This show is a production of South Carolina Public Radio and is made possible in part by listener contributions to the ETV Endowment of South Carolina.
Join us for an episode of Who What Win. Just call or text us at 803-470-6347 or send us an email to whowhatwin@scpublicradio.org.
You can find out more about the show at our website, whowhatwinshow.org.
And you can listen to an extended version of our show on your favorite podcasting app or through your smart speaker.
I'm Daniel Thompson.
And I'm Brandon Gray. Join us again next week for more history, games, and trivia right here on Who, What, When.